The International Criminal Court prosecutor Fatou Bensouda has expressed concern about potential Israeli moves to annex the Jordan Valley. Bensouda made the comment in her annual report on investigations underway in major conflict zones in the world. The prosecutor once again warned Israel against taking the bold step, saying she is considering a broader decision on the war crimes debate relating to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel has the full right to annex the Jordan Valley if it chose to. Netanyahu said he has discussed the move with Washington that has already softened its stance on the annexation. Netanyahu has pledged to annex the Jordan Valley if re-elected. He faces corruption indictments and political, that is, crisis, and the move could help him survive the crisis. Max Igan is a political commentator and he joins us from the Australian city of Brisbane. Mr. Igan, welcome. Now, what was your reaction to this news item? Some would say that the ICC, being an international tribunal, could take further action apart from instead of expressing concern.
Well, exactly. That's the thing, concern. It's nice of them, isn't it? Why don't they just say, no, you can't do it because we're the United Nations. And if you do it, we'll actually send some UN peacekeepers to stop you doing it and push you back. The United Nations is a toothless tiger. If you really look at the history of the United Nations and the history of the world, there's been more conflicts. There's been like 278 conflicts, in the 80s, nearly 300 conflicts since the United Nations was formed as a body to end all war. And since it was formed, we've had more wars than in Earth's recorded history up to that point. I think that should be a bit of a sign for people. And the United Nations forms two real functions. It sits there as a body that brings all of the other nations into its fold and says, you must do what we say because we have the power of veto. United States and Israel can do what they want. Everyone's got to do what they say, or otherwise we'll just veto your decision. And it offers lip service to the people of the world. So we think we've got this body there and we can have this person come up there and say they're very concerned about what's going on. But they're not actually going to do anything about it, but it makes the people out in the world think the United Nations actually cares and is actually going to do something about it and actually can do something about it. It's a toothless tiger and it's more of a propaganda exercise and a means of controlling all of the member nations than anything else. It won't do anything to stop Israel. Israel will do what it wants, unfortunately, as it always has.
Does Israel feel emboldened to make these kind of decisions, such as annexing the Jordan Valley? Does it feel emboldened by the current administration of the US President Donald Trump?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Israel has gone to a next level with the support of Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump's daughter married into the fold. He really lowered restrictions on Israel. He increased funding to Israel. He's really turned his back on a lot of the things that were pushing to stop the actions of Israel. He's just given it the go-ahead, and Israel has acted accordingly. It's done an enormous amount of damage in the last few years since Trump took office. And if the UN meant anything, and its peacekeepers meant anything, the issue in Gaza and Palestine, I mean, the Palestinians have actually been asking for UN peacekeepers to come there to stop the atrocities that the people are suffering at the hands of Israel for years. And the UN will do nothing about that. So a lot of it is just theatre for the masses, and most definitely Israel has been emboldened by the Trump administration. But a lot of it is a political move for Netanyahu as well, because he's facing so much flack. And it's quite disgusting that he's prepared to go further into West Bank and, further abuse the Palestinian people and create more homeless people in Palestine simply to get himself political credit on the ground in Israel. It's pretty disgusting, but it's just the way they think.
Do you think that Benjamin Netanyahu, by some, I don't know, some kind of magical reason, get re-elected again and become prime minister, do you think he will annex the Jordan Valley? I mean, that would essentially shut the door on the peace process, albeit there is no peace process at the moment.
There is no peace process. He may well annex the Jordan Valley if he gets re-elected. The scary thing about Benjamin Netanyahu, for all the damage that he does, he's actually moderate compared to the people that he's running against. And, you know, if someone else was to get in, some of the people who are running for office, they're actually even worse. Well, their policies seem to be worse than even what Benjamin Netanyahu's offering. So, you know, a lot of this may actually be political theatre just to garner the votes. And then he might realise that it's stepping over the line. If he goes in and annexes Jordan Valley, it really is stepping over the line, and Israel will lose world sympathy dramatically. But it works good on the ground for the elections. So, you know, it's a very, very delicate situation. You know, it may be theatre just for the election, and I hope it is. But we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, the problem is that his opponents are even more extreme than him, and if any of them were to get in, the situation may even escalate into something even worse.
Okay, Mr. Igan, political commentator, thank you very much indeed for joining us and for your contribution. Max Igan there,
My pleasure.
joining us out of Brisbane.